Good morning. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to use Interlibrary Loan, which is a service that the Manhattanville College Library offers to help connect you to resources that might not be part of our permanent collection or might not be as part of one of the offerings within our 94 databases that we provide access to. Um, when you need something like that, we try to provide access to it either electronically or through mail. And I can show you a little bit about how one puts in a request for that exact thing. So first I'm going to go to the Manhattanville College Library website, which is right here. And in order to give you a sense of how you can tell a title that we have in our collection or one that you would need to request that kind of access to, I'm going to show you a little example here. All right, so I just performed a search using one of my handy search terms. And what you see here in this results list of 1,870 results are different things that we both have access to and things that we don't have access to. Naturally, the stuff that we do have access to is going to sort of float to the top because the catalog wants to provide you to access to things that we have immediate, you can get immediately. But if I wanted to get a sense of what is out there beyond the walls of the library, I can click this Libraries Worldwide button, and that will make it so that those results float to the top and I can see those more clearly. Um, so this right here is a good example of a book of his novels and short stories that we don't have access to. And you'll know that immediately because it'll say at other libraries worldwide. But if I knew for sure that I really needed this book and I wanted to request it through Interlibrary Loan, I'd simply click the title of the book, and then under Access Options on the right here, you get this handy little button for Request with Interlibrary Loan. I click that, and I wind up here, which is the login page of ILLiad, which is our interlibrary loan system. And the logins for it are actually driven by the same software that does the logins for Blackboard and other campus services. So I can use the same username and password that I would ordinarily use to access Blackboard and email. And then when I log in, conveniently enough, I have a pre-populated book request form here, which actually took all of the information from the catalog record for this title and put it right in the form so that I don't need to go back and forth between pages and copy all this information into all these different spaces here. So that's pretty nice. And if I actually did want this book, and this wasn't just an example, I would click this submit request button, and then it would go into the system, and I'd probably wind up on the main menu page here, and it would show you an entry for that particular book, and it would show me the status of what that book request was at. If I wanted to do interlibrary loan for something electronic, like if I wanted a journal article or something like that, I would simply go back to the interlibrary loan main page, or excuse me, I would go back to the Manhattanville College Library main page. I'm going to try searching in one of the databases. I'm going to go to Academic Search Premier because that's a pretty reliable database. I'm going to use the same search term. And I can already see on my results list here that I have examples of results that we do have access to, like this article title right here. I can get the PDF full text right in this link. Or this article here, which doesn't provide the PDF full text link. Instead, it provides these links for checking journals A to Z, or find it at Manhattanville, or request with Interlibrary Loan. So if I knew immediately that I wanted to do that, and I had enough time to wait for it to come through electronically, I could simply click that button and wind up at the ILLiad login page once again. And there I have a pre-populated form once again of all the information that I would need from that record in Academic Search Premier. So if I really did want this, I could simply hit submit request for this, and then that request would go into the system, and I could expect the journal article to come around pretty soon. If you're in a situation where you're curious about the status of your interlibrary loan requests, if you've made several of them and you're wondering about whether or not you can get them soon, or whether or not they're actually making some progress in the system, I could simply go back to the library's homepage, and in Services, click the Interlibrary Loan button. I wind up on this page with a lot of the information I just described. And then I click on the ILLiad button right here to return to that login page. And then I can see the status of all of my requests in the main menu here. And also stuff like the history of all the requests I've made in ILLiad. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.